Welcome to Rio for Life, Kim D. And face it, you're human. At least I am. It was a time when I thought I was an alien, though. When I was younger, absolutely. We couldn't find my birth certificate, it didn't exist. I needed it to get my social security number because back in the day, you weren't born with it. You only got it when you went to work. And so I needed it, couldn't find it. Dad didn't have it, mom didn't have it. Uh, they attempted to contact the state. First we contacted the hospital, and the hospital record room had had a fire, and so they didn't have anything. So the county also had a fire in their record room, and but they had some other options they were working on. Things were getting updated into this new system, uh, utilizing computers. So that's kind of different. It's the 80s. We're moving into something new here. A better way of record keeping. Ooh, got a big random one that flew away there. So we've got, different record keeping that we're working on. And still no birth certificate for me. So I need the birth certificate. Long story short, what we ended up doing is okay, when I was 9, I was baptized Mormon. But when I was 3, after my younger brother was born, he was baptized Methodist. And I also was baptized Methodist. Well, at the time, it says record of birth and baptism. And it's got fancy little seals on it. And so that's what we used for me to get my social security number. Now, the interesting side note to that is it has my name, my mother's maiden name, my date and time of birth, place, the whole kit and caboodle. But it lists my stepfather as my father. And that's the document that was first used to identify me as a human being living in the United States of America as a citizen. Interesting, huh? Nowadays, you're born, you got that little number attached to you, and the other documents come later. I'm bringing this up because for a long time, decades, this story was framed and used as I wasn't, we don't have any proof of my existence. We have this little pseudo document. Uh, Later, the state was able to give me an actual state uh, birth certificate, but that wasn't well until past the 2000s when I was getting a passport. Well, hello, I love Larry. How you doing? Our topic today is demons. What do we do about our demons? The alien aspect of me was the wild card. I could be anything I wanted to be. I wasn't contained by anybody else's expectations. I wasn't trapped yet. Interesting. I wasn't trapped yet. I didn't really have those demons. I had ways to cope and deal and battle, but the demons hadn't come yet. Now, what do you think of when you think of your demons? Most people immediately jump to addiction, drugs, alcohol, for some food, obesity. Some people are addicted to exercise. But addiction tends to be the first demon that most of us experience within society in general. There are those next that, there's the religious demon. I am currently in Hibbing, Minnesota. I'm from a little bit of everywhere. Born in Clinton, Iowa, but never lived there. Lived across the river in Fulton, Illinois. Before, oh my goodness, it was only a few months after I was born, we moved back to Denver, Colorado. Um, Also lived in northern Minnesota off and on as a child, Santa Fe, New Mexico, Nashwauk, Minnesota. And then from there, I was 18. I joined the Marine Corps. I was discharged. And then, oh my goodness, I just started a life, just living. Favorite food? I like lasagna. Don't eat too much of it though, but am I Christian? Good question as we're talking about demons. I was raised Mormon. I did not know the falsehoods and issues with the religion until 2020. So I spent the majority of my life feeling that I was the problem, that the church was right and everything was me. I was the problem. And it's been a long journey since 2020 and discovering all of these things about the faith. So what I can say right now about Christianity is I don't really believe in anything at all. I've had so much faith and so much shoved down me to the point that I developed religious scrupulosity, learned how to pray unceasingly, and wasn't human anymore. My identity was only that of what the church gave me. So Christianity, we'll wait and see. Whatever my faith and decisions end up being in the future. So stay tuned. That's a great question. So now back to our demons. The four things that I know I can do with my demons is I can ignore them. I don't know about you, but I'm an expert at ignoring my demons. Um, I need to exercise more. I need to have better exercise. I need to be more engaged with the physical activity while I'm doing it and not just think mowing my yard once a week and sweeping covers it because that's just basic life things. That's not the type of energy I need to have the health I want. So I ignore that demon for me of procrastination. I know what I need to do. I know, and then that just sits there and sits there. Ooh, favorite color. I like electric blue. I'm kind of into grays and seafoam blue and green, purpley colors right now. Favorite candy. I make my own. So it's whatever I'm in the mood for. And sometimes I don't even add flavoring. It's just hard sugar. I made peace with my sugar demon a long time ago. Him and I, yeah, we're at peace. We know our limits and what we need to do to keep sugar low. Do you ignore your demon? Do you know what it is? Do you know, or the multiple ones, and do you just ignore them? You don't need to do drugs to make them go away. You just ignore them and they're gone. Do you do that? Do you know what that does to your insides? Holding on to that because it's still there. You can ignore it all you want, but until you come to an actual healthy situation with that demon, you're kind of SOL. You're going to keep rambling. You're going to keep spinning in one spot because that demon, that thing, that has the control and you don't. And unfortunately, you're painfully aware of it. That's the good part when dealing with your demons. You know, you have identified and you're making choices now. These four choices on how do you deal with your demon, that's up to you. I know I like to ignore certain ones. I do. I like to ignore them. Next up, battling them. I've been sober 14 years. Prior to that, let's see, I think I had 14 years, 14 years of sobriety, 7 years I hadn't been smoking cigarettes. December 31st, 1999, I picked up a glass of champagne and bummed a cigarette at Caps in Aurora, Colorado. And that was the beginning of a slow descent into myself that ended up with 2012, me being in a dire situation with a blood alcohol of 0.311. If I hadn't had medical intervention, I would have died. After that, I did a 90 meetings in 90 days. My spouse at the time asked me, "Is that what the doctors want you to do?" I said, "Nope, I know that's what I need to do." So I started the next day, 90 meetings, 90 days, and I've been sober ever since. So 2012, 2026, I I battled in the beginning. It took a lot. I battled with my thoughts. Uh, I could feel I could feel it in my teeth, in my tongue. I could feel tequila. I I liked being comfortably numb. I didn't want to be happy. I didn't want to be sad. And in the beginning, as we're talking about battling, I battled that demon, and that my demon, I had to transform the demon into poison. Alcohol for me became a poison, something I can't drink. I wouldn't drink alcohol any more than I drink antifreeze. But I had to make that crossover. I had to battle the feelings and everything because I'd previously ignored this demon. And remember, in the beginning, I said most of the beginning demons are alcohol or drugs or what kind of an addiction. Because until you get that type of demon under some kind of control, the other ones aren't ready to pop up yet. I'd love to say you get rid of that and you're all good. Life is moving forward. Well, hey there, Kelly. Haven't seen you in a while. It's so good. I gotta email you again. You gotta check your junk mail. You should have some from me. So back to the demons. So with my demon of alcohol, I ignored it. I battled it. I came to a point where I exercised it. I I I wrote down an affirmation. In some people's world, they could have a scripture verse, an affirmation, a chant, a blessing. Doesn't matter what your faith based is, you have what you need to do this. You already do. And so as I exercised it through the processes of utilizing the 12-step program of IA and my own program that I developed in, oh my gosh, I have to look up what year I started it, called Face It. Face It, You're Human. It's about focus, aware, communicate, engage, first space, integrity, time, second space, and not one, not two, but three exclamation points, because life is joyful. By combining all of these things, I got to a point. Oh, one more thing before I get to what the point was. The 12-step program I went through to finally get sober, the reason it was so challenging and so hard for me personally to make the necessary connections, absolutely, and this is why it was a battle for me, was because while I was a member of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, to use their full formal version of what I call Mormon, I had been drinking coffee. I had a temple recommend, and those are no-nos. Those are big no-nos, huge no-nos. In order to keep my temple recommend, I was disfellowshipped, which isn't the shunning that JW's. Ours is, they have new words for it too. It's not called disfellowshipped anymore. Um, but during that period of time when I was under a discipline, I got put into a 12-step program for drinking coffee. And what I can tell you is it really screws up your head. It really does. There is no human being who needs to equate coffee to a 12-step program. And it is damaging. And so this is one of the biggest things you'll hear me talk about over and over again because of the damage it caused, because of the therapy delays, because of all of the things I couldn't ever get to because that stopped it. There was no way for me to make the necessary connections at the time. All had to be done later. So that, yes, I know. It's crazy. Now they have their own therapy program. They have all kinds, they have their own social services. They do their own adoptions. There's all kinds of things this wonderful little church does. But for me, my biggest demon involved with it was the fact that it instilled in me things that made it harder for me to recover. Go figure. So as I was exercising, these demons, and then it finally got to the point where, now I didn't get to my point. See, it'll come back. Those trains, they're on a loop. I had to learn what words really mean, not what I was taught that they meant. Because so many words that we hear on a day to day basis in regular social society, when you're raised in a high demand religion, they don't mean the same things. You don't have the same feelings. You don't connect in the same ways. And from what I've seen from other people that have left high demand religions, different content creators and different just regular people, uh, a lot of us are stuck in different mental loops, even as we're trying to do this, to share these experiences. These are the demons. The coffee thing, um, this is a type of demon. Along the way, I had to make peace with the conflict that was given to me. I had to accept the fact that it is fact and it exists. I don't need to change it. I can't. It happened. I don't need to make sense of it. I just needed to find a peace, just a little bit of peace with the reality. I don't know what it takes for you to get to that point. I believe when we're dealing with these types of demons, you kind of go through these 4 steps. I believe that you ignore things that you're battling. Contradiction, but all at the same time. You can do more than one thing at the same time. You can ignore as you battle, and then pretty soon it wears you down. You're not ignoring anymore. You're kind of moving into that battle, and you're up to the fight. Oh, I'm here for the engagement, not the marriage. You can tell me to shut up all you want, and I'll tell you to fuck off. Seriously, you'll get timed out, banned, whatever. Watch your P's and Q's. Grow the fuck up. This is my world, not yours. You're here to enjoy. So as you battle, and this is it, you have to learn. You learn how to pick and choose your battles and what you're going to pay attention to and what you're not. That process begins you exercising them. That process starts, that battle continues until you are wearing down whatever that demon or situation is, to the point that you can move into this next little stage that gives you that peace, that gives you the peace. Oh, hey, yeah, we'll go ahead and show this because I want people to see who and what you are. I'm a cursed old hag. Oh, my feet are in the grave. Oh, damn it. Oh, I'm 61 years old. My feet are nowhere near in the grave. And I could sit and engage with you, probably not more than 5 minutes before you would bore me. So thank you very much. Your time is coming to an end. So we can put you in timeout. Thank you. Drive through. Learning how to do these things. One of my demons that I've had was just doing this, coming and being live and sharing my experiences and myself. It was a demon for 3 years now. Oh, more than that. Well, 4 years. I could safely say 2023, I wanted to share. At the time, I wanted to be a part of something bigger than myself, and I didn't know how to do it. And so I was, in a way, aligning myself with a different type of group, a different type of pseudo organization. What I discovered in time was I never needed it, that it was part of my process of being human and getting into a world with people that are different than me. Now, what used to be my biggest strength, being a member of the church, it turned into my biggest demon. I fully believe that in relationships and in life and in all these things, you really do get what you put in. You do. And it might not be, it's not monetary. It was never about money. It's always been about peace. Isn't that what we want? We just want some peace. We want a little sliver of life that's just peace, calm, ours. We fight, we battle, we do so many things just to have that sliver of peace. So that's why I figured I want to just talk about these demons. What demons are you coping with? My biggest is, procrastination. Well, no, well, yeah, procrastination, but it's different. Um, Part of it's ADHD, part of it's autism, part of it's being raised in a high demand religion, part of it's I don't care about the same things anymore. And then my brain snaps into a different thing and I care again. Uh, it's like I get pulled back into a younger way of thinking. It's hard to get comfortable with change, and change is ever present. Loneliness can be a demon. Most of my interactions, I don't really have many. How about that? If I showed you my text log or my email log or my call log, um, I don't text. I don't call. People don't text or call me. I don't email and they don't email. But I want people, but I want friends, but I want to learn. And I don't, because that demon of mistrust sits heavy, sits heavy all the way around me. It's like it's like a pop-up aura. I get around people, even here in this environment, and it just pops up. This little wall that comes in between me and you. I've ignored it for years and I've battled that's the process I am now. I'm battling as I exercise it. And you have to practice. So I'm here with you practicing. I mentioned Face It. I mentioned the words about Face It. I've got chapter 1 of the book done. And when the book is done, Then I have a product and I have something that you can look at your own time. I really, really, really want to get this done before the end of summer. Oh, and then that procrastination demon comes in because this is hard. This is actually writing down this concept, this system that I use to problem solve, a way that I replaced the church. So we'll dive a little bit into it right now, since we're talking demons and we're talking this, internet little world and content creator. When you make the decision to move out of an observer and into a creator, the one thing I discovered is it reduces your watch time. I'm spending a lot more time working on my scripts, doing some uploads, planning my calendar. I have different things I listen to in the background now that I used to be watching the chat and being an active part of. It feels weird. It's like a little loss. I I want to do this. I'm encouraged by it. I love how I feel while I'm doing this. And at the same time, I miss I miss that me that didn't know the things I know, if that makes sense. But I know them. So now here we go. We're talking about my content creation. We're talking about figuring out all these things. And each one can be their own separate demon. You can call them what you want. Focus. I want to start a channel. I want to change my life as I learn to connect. This channel's not about you. It is all about me. But we're all alone, but we're all alone together. So here I am with you. Need to do this. I want to do it. It's a desire. It's something, but I don't know the skills. I don't know how to handle the programs, handle the chat. I just don't know. So I studied, I watched, I practiced. I took the focus. That's the focus part. I studied, I watched, I practiced. You do what's important to you, positive or negative. And if it's really important, you do it. When it's not important, you don't. That right there creates its own demon. Right there. Because I have things that are important to me that I'm not doing. Boom. It's up to me to choose what to do with it. Where am I going to put it? Am I going to ignore it? Am I going to battle it? Are you going to get rid of it once and for all? Or am I going to make peace with it? Because the fact is, it's never going to really go away. It's all about it becoming a part of you, part of me. So the focus, look up the word. What does focus mean to you? And it could change depending on what situation you're in, but that's the word we start with. So we're going to take a breath. Every breath is another chance and another choice. So what are we going to do next? All right. We're focused. I'm focused. I got this channel. I did the little things. I'm learning. I am now aware, painfully aware of the things I don't know and of all the little things that can pop in. There's copyright, there's all kinds of things, doxing. I mean, I had the list. I made a list of 45 different things that was stopping me from going live. 45 of them. And I chose to go through each and every one to determine if it was valid or not. Some of them were kind of silly. It's like, yeah, no, you don't need to worry about that. That doesn't matter. This one, yeah, probably need to pretty up your clothes, your hair, maybe make sure your background's better. That awareness made me accountable. So see, then I'm accountable to pretty myself up a little or make my background better. Keep in mind, I don't have to do anything because this is all mine to do my way. A is accountable, just to let you know. So we're focused. I've become accountable. Communicate. C, starts with the internal. My internal communication was telling me, you're fun, you're okay. Nobody, an hour is more than enough time with me. Self depreciating thoughts. Yeah, that was on my list too. Every human being is worth at least an hour of time, period. You give someone 1 hour, and it's amazing the understandings and things you can learn about them and yourself. So I had to work on that internal communication because that's what was really my thought stopper. The external communication, yeah, I can be pretty good at this part. Um, but I've always said from the start, my main problem is communication, and it is my internal communication. So now here I am communicating with you. Engage. Internal engagement comes first. And that's where the planning, and that's where different things or lack of planning. Ooh, I'm in a mood. Let's go live. Engage also has that external factor. Once you've got that internal, you're in conjunction doing the external. So that is face. That is how I problem solve anything. I could think you're mad at me. You've got an issue with me. I'm going to focus. I'm going to become aware. I'm going to be accountable for things. I'm going to have some internal and external communication or not. Not everything needs to be said. Internal and external engagement. Now, the engagement's important because that's where you're showing action. The things you might never tell are seen by what you're doing. When I was a little girl, no one had been on the moon. No footprints on the moon. No rockets, no satellites, not even the amount of airplanes we have. In between face and it is first space. Space now is filled. It's filled. It's got like traffic. It's crazy the amount of junk, absolute space junk that's in our atmosphere. And it's all up there. While you're in first space, you are bumping around. You might take a class. You might have a deep conversation with someone. You might read a book. You might get out a dictionary and maybe look up a couple of words to make sure you know what they mean. Every Monday, what I do with the content creators that I watch, I make my list of 10 vocabulary words for the week. Something I didn't know or hadn't heard or didn't quite know what it meant. So every week, I get my own little bump up where I'm feeling like I understand something just a little bit better. And believe me, the world gives you tons of things you can learn and find out about. So while I'm in this space, you, and I said this before, and this is where it comes from, you will do what's important to you, positive or negative. The demon, the addiction, whatever it is. If you don't want to work, guarantee me, you're not going to be out there working. Um, if it is important to you, 110% will make it happen. Just the way it is. With that I, which is not the I in it, you develop integrity. Okay. I believe integrity is fluid. I believe it's based on what's important to you. And if you have negative things important to you, you're going to have a more negative or disreputable integrity. It's not permanent, though. That's the wonder of it. So while you have you keep doing the face because it becomes second nature for processing. When you have a problem or an issue, you just go boom, boom, boom. I have a fight. I was focused. I'm accountable. I was aware. Oh crap, I lost my temper and I did not communicate very well. I don't even need to go forward. I don't need to look at the engagement. We don't need to talk about what happened. There is no words that need to be said. Right now, there with C, I know where I have to stop and rectify because nothing else matters except where the point where I went wrong, the point where I went awry. He said, she said, nope, not even a part of the equation. Stops there. And that's how faith gets better and better. And you truly learn who and what you are and what you want to be. And this is what I had to do because the only identity I had was what the church gave me. I have my own talents and treasures, but they made me believe that all of it had to be given to them. I couldn't even keep anything for myself. Pride was a sin. Face it, for me, does what the 12-step program wouldn't be allowed to do in my brain, what different forms of therapy don't work because of the thought stopping processes the church put in me. And we all have different thought stopping processes. It's very unhealthy people and organizations put into us. Those are your demons, those are your choices. Work with them as you may. So we're on I, integrity. Integrity. What is your integrity? What can you live with? Who are you? These are the big, big, deep questions that you get to ponder. And then you utilize space as you're pondering it. Uh, as you're focused, you're becoming accountable, you're communicating internally and externally things you want to change. So your engagement. All right, here you go. What do you want to do about it? Find a plan, find a class, talk to a friend. Space. You might go to a lot of classes when you're in that first space. I know I was. I trained. I was 230 pounds when I quit drinking, and I had a Roux-en-Y gastric bypass in '98. But I started walking and biking, mainly walking on a treadmill, not walking on the street. But I trained and I flew out to Arizona. What year? Oh, 2013. Yeah, 2013. I did my first half marathon, 180 pounds. And it took me the just shy of the full 4 hours. That was the max time. I had blisters. Oh my goodness. There were so many things. Oh, I didn't train on the street. And here I'm walking on the street in Phoenix, Arizona. Oh no. Oh, it was way different. It was so hard, but I did it. I did it. I did a little dance over the finish line. And I am so proud of myself for doing that. And then it's a PF Chang rock and roll. So every other mile, there's either a group of cheerleaders or a band. And so it was wicked fun to do. And I did a second one. My second one took 26 minutes off my time. Do you know how hard it is to speed walk? Speed walk, no jogging, and cut 26 minutes off of your time? Yeah, love it. Third half marathon I did on a treadmill. I'd had a really rough day. I was angry, and anger doesn't sit well with me. So I just started walking, and I was just going to walk until I didn't feel that way anymore. Next thing you know it, I got 3 miles in, and then 6 miles in. And then before you know it, I did 13.2 miles. Uh, and knocked 5 minutes off of my time there. I love it. That's not official time though, because it wasn't in a race. I used to weigh 303 pounds. I used to be a lot of things. T, time. It's where the used to be's and the future stuff comes. Time is man made. That's it. Time is man made. You can create anything you want in regards to time. Don't put yourself on anybody else's timetable. Whatever schedule you need, exercise, food, sleep, at work, it doesn't matter. It's yours. And we have a whole wide 24-hour day that you get to play with. Me, I have a little strange sleep cycle. I'm working on making it longer because I believe most of my sleep cycle is trauma based. I'll go to bed at midnight, I'll wake up at 2, go back to bed at 4, and wake up at 6. No caffeine, no naps, and this type of energy. I don't know if it's a blessing or a curse, but I get 5 extra days a month that most human beings don't get. And they're productive hours. They're not or productive days. It's not like I'm just scrolling or sleeping. My brain's always trying to improve, always trying to do something better. My biggest goal in life is learning how to do nothing, learning how to sit still and be quiet. The tea and time helped me figure out what my sleep patterns were, my eating patterns. When do I physically, is it best for me to get a little workout in? Is it easier for me to do things 15 minutes at a time? I'm getting older, things are changing. Yeah, the hands, the hands really suck. Rheumatoid arthritis without a diagnosis is the best we can say, but it limits me now in ways I never expected. Once time passes, everything passes, everything changes, everything moves into something else all the time. Nothing ever stays the same. Not even the little knickknack you have on a counter, because it'll get dust. My alarm went off telling me it's 8 o'clock, which is the time when I go into my Finch app and I actually start my day. That the day that I document begins at 8. And that's when I have one med I have to take a couple hours before the other, and this all fits in with time. I have to take it 2 hours before the other meds and a half hour before I eat. Should be easy, right? The only way I've managed to do it is when I get up at 6 in the morning, I take that med. And then I'm able to do everything else. Having troubles taking it in the reverse, my nighttime, still working on that. But I'll figure it out. It'll happen. When you start thinking about time being man made, time is where one or more something, anything, can be together. You and I right now are together in time because it is alive. We're here together. When you're watching on replay, you're watching on your time. When you're on a live, we are here together. The joy about it is when you're watching on replay, you get to make comments and use timestamps. It's wicked cool. I suggest you do it. If you really wanted to spam me or do something, don't do it in the live chat. You go try it on my comments. Let the whole world see. I haven't quite figured out how to make the chat stay once I'm not live because I'm not doing it on my computer. Once again, the learning curve that I've been talking about. It's a big demon. It is. This whole process that I've been doing. I feel so cringy when I look at older stuff, but I say it as I'm making it. I'm telling myself this is cringe. This is the beginning. This is how you show growth. Time is how you show growth. You're not able to show anything until it happens. Now, along with that, let me give you a little heads up. Those feelings you're feeling, those big feelings or little feelings, any of these emotions that you're feeling, I know you feel it all over in different ways, but all of it's here. Everything's in your head. Everything is in your brain. Your feelings aren't in your heart. They're all in your head. Do they affect your heart? Do they affect your body? Absolutely 110%. You feel it everywhere because your body is in there. Your brain's part of your body. It's all connected. But the actual process that's happening takes about 90 seconds and it's gone out of your brain. Everything that you are doing with those emotions, yeah, it's like a feedback machine. It's like you're a demon feeding yourself. Because once 90 seconds has passed, it's all a memory now. It's just you recycling a memory. The feeling doesn't exist, except what you're creating. The natural emotion, that's gone. Powerful thing for me to learn. When dealing with panic or anxiety, it will pass. It does. You're here. There are things you are doing every single day to cope and get through any of those demons that exist in you. We all have them. Every single one of us. No one escapes it. You can call it whatever you want: mental illness, personality defect, you're just evil. I don't know. That's up to you. You get to decide. And those words that make sense to you. I just call them my demons. Maybe in time I'll change it to something else. Maybe they'll be my sidekicks. I don't know. I'm still growing and learning and always will. Because as I get older, some of these demons are going to be lack of transportation, sorrow from friends passing away as I age. I'm probably going to be the last man standing. Um, we had this thing called Dizzy Discs when I was in high school in our school newspaper. The Dizzy Disc editor would take current songs and match them with people's names. It was so funny. Some of them were hilarious. Some of them, oh man, so true. I was absolutely blown away to open up the school paper once and find my name next to a song. And I still have that paper, so I'll have to take a picture of it and post it. But it's Asia is the group, and the song is Soul Survivor. And wow, to be a older teen and have that to be what my peers thought of me. I'm a rise from the wreckage, I'm the phoenix, I'm the soul survivor. It fit. So as I'm battling my demons and the words and the things that other people created to give me my personality and identity, now I get to pick and choose the ones I like and the ones I'm creating for myself. And the soul survivor one, I kind of dig on that because I am strong. Being a survivor has a certain amount of strength. And to be the last one standing kind of gives me, I have Scottish heritage. And so that's my little Highlander. There can be only one, and it will be me. And it's an argument we have going on with my Irish cousins. Yeah. Across the pond, if I post on Facebook, there can be only one, and it is me. You will see them come arise and say, yeah, right. It is me. And I am closer to Scotland than you. Liberton's my maiden name, and it's a town about 40 minutes southwest of Edinburgh. And now it's just a cow pasture. My cousin over there, I told him I want to come and take a picture of me underneath the Liberton sign. So you know what he did? He went out there and took a picture of the sign and took one of my Facebook photos and photoshopped me in it and said, "There, now you're under the sign. When we get here, I'm taking you to a pub." And I cracked up. I'm like, "Do it, man. On the way to the pub. We're going to listen to music and dance. We're not going out to the cow pasture." I have different family members that are unbelievably amazing. Philomena Lee, over in Ireland. I'm always in awe of her. She's a 90-plus-year-old woman who's met the Pope, who had unforgivable, terrible things done to her by the Catholic Church. You know, being an unwed mother and spending years in a home paying back for your sins, and then to have your 2-year-old son taken away from you and adopted out, trafficked, basically. Rich Americans paid $10,000 for Irish Catholic children. And it's sad that they were both looking for each other, and then the church lied to them, but he was buried at the abbey where he was born so that someday she could find him. So after all what she did, he was right there the whole time. And he had an amazing life. They wrote a book. It became a movie. It was up for an Academy Award. It lost to 12 Years a Slave. But I love knowing these people before I knew the bigger stuff, the parts of their demons, the parts that they didn't talk about. For 50 plus years, she didn't speak of it, but never looked at it as a demon, held to her faith, didn't judge the Catholic Church for their actions. I looked to Philomena in different ways, like I would, not necessarily a sponsor, but I wouldn't put her as the status of a role model. It's really weird. I'm just so happy. I'm so happy for the life she's able to have and for the weight being lifted off of her to be able to spend the rest of her life with a different kind of peace. And that for me is what I'm going for. And I'm taking the time to make it happen. So now we're getting to second space. It's the same thing as first space, only you're just bouncing back between I and T. Just fine tuning those little things about your actual integrity, what's important to you, and how you spend your time. That's it. And it all wraps up with not one, not two, but 3 exclamation points. Because I believe life is joyful. I'm a happy person and I like being happy. If I'm mad, if I'm actually upset, it takes a lot for me to actually share or feel or show those types of emotions. I have been taught to not allow them. So, if you are lucky enough that I am sharing that type of emotion with you, I want you to know those are rare events in my life. And please be privileged, feel privileged that I felt comfortable enough to be upset with you. I don't know if that makes any sense, but if I'm actually sharing with you that I'm upset with you, there's a lot that went into that. It's not a rash thing that I'm doing. Emotions. Don't let those be your demons. Let them be your process. Figure it out. We're all alone, but we're all alone together. I will share with you one of the biggest drawbacks I have in my life. Biggest thing that will set me back, that stops me. Me, me. I am the biggest thing that gets in my way. I am the single biggest reason when I am unhappy. It is on me. it's something I am choosing to not be comfortable with and not change and let it stand for something that it shouldn't stand for. Ooh, that's a biggie. It's a biggie. How about this? I car share. It's my car. I pay for the car. I pay for the insurance. I never use my car. I don't ask to use my car. I can. It's my car. No one would care. No one would care if I use my own car. But in my mind, I am sacrificing so someone else can have a full life. I am sacrificing. I am making a choice to not use my car, to not ask to use my car, to allow someone else to use my car and not pay for it. They put gas in, they do maintenance, so they do a part of it, but the basic $500 a month, I have a choice. I can continue to feel something about it that's not there. I have feelings about the fact that the family member doesn't give me any money. I've asked for money, we've come up with some plans, and it just never has really happened. And I don't really get angry about it, but in this little demon thing in my head where I am unhappy about it, I do want the money. But I want my life to be all about money. I don't really care that much. But 2 months of them making that payment, that's money for me to go on a cruise. Oh my God, it's my cruise money that I'm allowing to happen. I'm allowing this to happen. And then I'm feeling feelings about it, but being passive aggressive and having conflict avoidance, I just sit in it and I feel these feelings like I'm not appreciated. I'm absolutely appreciated. It's helping them get to their jobs, to their appointments, to their anything and everything they need to have a full life. And guess what? I have a full life. I don't actually have to use my car or have it. But in my head, I have these feelings that I'm being taken advantage of. And I'm not being taken advantage of. So that's my current demon that I haven't been able to find a real solution for yet because I really don't care. This has been going on for like 2 years. This isn't something, you know, I'm not being taken advantage of. I have a loving, amazing family that takes care of me in so many ways I can't even share. But my brain is getting stuck on this because it's connecting it to cruise money, to my own fun. I want to get away, go on a 7-day cruise by myself, interior cabin, because the cabin's just for sleeping. I'm not on the ship. Um, and I'm on disability. I have limited ways to get extra money and da 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 da. I really want to travel with other people. How about that? I don't really want to travel with other people, but I don't want to go alone. See, the church really did a lot of numbers on me where I don't trust yet. I don't trust myself yet. Oh, when I do go on, I'm a flight risk, so I don't leave the ship. And I say that knowingly. I like to make chocolate, and there's so many of these places where they do from start to finish the whole process of making, picking it off the tree, kind of make your own chocolate. I'm sure someone's got a shack, someone's got a little room I could sleep in, and um, yeah, I'd be like an indentured servant, and I would have the time of my freaking life. And don't have a passport, so I would never be able to come home unless I, magically, got a cruise to get me back home. I don't know how it would all work. But because I don't know how it would all work, I stay on the ship. I really want to do, there's this two week Hawaiian cruise. Now I'll get off the ship on that one. It's $3,000 just solo. Yeah, yeah, I really want to do it. But once again, okay, I am allowing myself not to have that $500 a month, but I know what it's doing for my family. I'm not sacrificing. And then you can see me go back and forth. And this is what I do almost every day about this stupid car. And that's insane. That is absolutely insane. And I'm sharing this with you because there are so many things we all do where what's really going on with us, what's really bothering us, might actually be something like this, where it's not bothering me, but it is. And I haven't quite figured out why or what. But it's an old track. It's something in my head that's not where I want it to be yet. Because going back to face it, in the eye, we do what's important to us. Obviously, it's not important enough to me, but it's important enough to hang on to. That's the thing. Before I get ready to sign off here, I want you to think about what's really important to you. And do you even know the why? Do you know the why? And I'm using my car thing to let you know. Obviously, this is important to be, but not important enough for me to change, but important enough that it's sitting with me. That's what makes it a demon. That's what makes it unhealthy for me. And I'll figure it out. It's taking me time, but at least I was able to get this far where I can identify that it's not going anywhere and I'm not doing anything about it. What are you not doing in your life that you're painfully aware of? Let me know in the comments. Let's see how we can get together and use Face It to maybe launch you into a next set of action steps. Demons, what are they? What do you call them? Do you ignore them? Do you battle them? Do you exercise them? You make peace with them? I'm going to throw a fifth thing in here that I just decided to add to my demons. We got ignore, we got battle, we got exercise, we got make peace. Oh, what is it? Think about what else can we do? We've ignored, we battled, exercising, we've removed them. Exercise, they've removed them. Making peace. Have you ever thought about this? I know with addiction, a lot of people, they have their sobriety date. I quit smoking cigarettes, but I don't have a date. I'm like, I don't know, because I don't have to commemorate everything that leaves. But there are some things that help you with your demon by commemorating it, by giving it an honored place in your brain instead of letting it live in the dungeons or spin around out of control. Give it a chair. Maybe it's a timeout chair, but give it a chair in your head where you can sit that demon down. Just let it sit. You're not ignoring it. You're not battling it. You're not exercising it. You're not making peace with it. You're just giving it space. You're giving it room. That's it. You're just giving it room. And sometimes that's enough to jumpstart your brain into the next step on what you want to do with it. So when all else fails, We're not ignoring it. We don't have to be battling all the time. We don't have to make them exercise and magic disappear forever. We don't have to be at peace with anything. But what will change if you make a little space for it? Make a little room for it. Just a tiny little bit. That's it. Tiny little space. So, thank you for being here. Thank you for helping me with my crossover as I'm coming out of the chat and into the camera. I'd love to come on and visit with anybody. Shoot me up. My email, people joke because I still have AOL and I don't care because I'm still active on MySpace. So fuck them if they can't take a joke. And I first heard that in a Bob Dylan movie. And if you can name the movie, year, and any of the other actors in it in the comments, bonus points for you. And I'll start keeping track of them. Every breath is another chance and another choice. So get out there and live it. Do it. It's yours. Just make it yours.